Hello, Master Numerologist Andre Alvin Moore, and today I would like to talk to you about the 641 birthday pattern. What is a birthday pattern? Well, every year on your birthday, your numbers change. And when your number changes, the circumstances of your life changes. Why? Because numbers are magnetic and it's going to draw to you the corresponding experiences. Why? For your development and for your growth. So, for an example, say you're 28. Okay. You add the 2 and the 8 together, you get the 10, and the 1 is there, you bring you back down to the 1. So that pattern would be 2, 8, 1. When that person on that person's birthday, when they turn 29, the pattern goes from 2, 8, 1 to 2, 9, 2. And that's going to change the whole vibration of that particular year. Okay? So, the 641 birthday pattern is about an individual that has just completed his 63rd birthday. Okay? He's leaving a 6, 3, 9 pattern because 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay? And now he's moving into a 6, 4, 1 pattern because now he's 64. So now, and the 6 and the 4 now makes a 10 and a 1. Okay, so now the numbers has changed, and so therefore, the vibration of the birth year is going to change, and the individuals is going to have to understand that these numbers is going to play an important role in his or her life in that birthday year cycle. Okay, so here we go. Every birthday, your age cycle changes. A 63-year-old person's age pattern cycle is 639. When this person turns 64 on their birthday, the age cycle will change from 639 to a 641 pattern. Now, this new age cycle lasts 365 days. So it goes from birthday to birthday. Okay? And the number age pattern has of 641 has two sub-age elements. And these are numbers 6 and 4. And then it has its core, which is the number 1, which is derived from adding the first two sub-age elements together. So, the birthday age has two sub-elements, the 6 and the 4. When added together, when combined together, it gives us the number 10, reduced down to the core essence of the number 1. Okay, the 641 pattern. Two sub-elements, 6, 4, one core element, number 1. Okay? Now, the first sub-age element, number 6, will influence a person's life for 10 years. So the first number has a vibration of 10 years. So that's a decade. So people go from the 5 decade, and then at age 59, they're getting ready to move into the next decade. So the 5 energy that was really influencing the person's life has now wavered, and now the 6 energy will now start influencing the person's life, and as you get deeper and deeper into the sixth level, you will continue to learn and hopefully understand your lessons that's being taught to you during your sixth decade. So it lasts for 10 years, right? That's a pretty long time. Now, the central theme of the sixth age decade is taking responsibility for your actions, words, and deeds. Affairs of the heart is a compelling aspect of a sixth age decade, which includes love, family, children, commitment, and respect. For an example, during a sixth age decade cycle, a person may find love, a person may become a great great grandparent, or see themselves getting involved in humanitarian causes. So, during the sixth decade, a person can get married, or a person can have a divorce. Children may become children may be involved in a very strong and significant way, during the sixth decade. Six also is about social consciousness and social awareness, and so moving through a sixth decade, a person may get involved in social activities. So that's all the sixth vibrational energy. Okay. Now the second sub element is the number 4, and it was exert its influence for 365 days. So the sixth decade got 10 years to teach you that this particular lesson about responsibility. The second sub element only gonna affect you for 365 days, but it's going to modify the direction, you know, of the pure six, meaning that once that 4 is connected to that 6, that 4 is going to help to give that 6 energy a little bit more groundation, because the 4 energy is about groundation, whereas the 6 energy is more about responsibilities, about feelings, and about emotional. Sometimes the 6 needs to get rooted in some type of rationality, and it's difficult for the sixes to be rational, because they come more from the inner space, the emotional space. So that 4 energy there will help to ground that 6 energy. Now on the other hand, the 6 energy there will help the 4 vibration energy become just a little bit more, should I say, not so rigid and not so firm and not so solid. Okay, so the second sub-age element, number 4, will exert its influence for 365 days. Now, the central theme of 4 is all about discipline, sergeant at arms, right? It likes to square things, right? It likes to build things, it likes to organize things, it likes to square things. It's like it's grounded, it's the foundation of life. Okay, so it's a heavy vibration, right? It's a heavy vibration. So you need strength to be able to carry the 4 energy. The strength for discipline. So the number 4 does harmonize well with the number 6, providing the discipline that a person needs in maintaining relationship, raising a family, marriage, and social interaction with others. So in other words, the 6 energy rules relationships, raising families, marriages, social interactions. But all of that requires what? Discipline. You have to be able to maintain it daily and weekly and throughout the years. And and what the 4 would do is help the 6 to maintain that structure, to keep the family together, to keep the marriage together, the relationship together, um, working working outside of the home, interacting with other people, the 4 energy will be able to square it. So, so the number 6 now, she's soft and she's receptive, right? She's a woman because she gives birth, she gives life, right? And the number 4 is stern and it's hard because the 4 energy is the foundation of life, it's the concrete of life, and it has to be hard because you really can't. You're not gonna have a lot of success building something that's fluid. It's gonna be hard for you to build a structure on fluid, right? Because fluid is always yielding, right? That's why so you build a boat. That's a structure, and and the reason why a boat works on the water is because the boat yields. The water the water is not static, so it tosses and it turns back and forth, right? But it's not stable, right? If a storm comes, your little boat can easily be toppled over, right? Right? So you can, build a structure and place it on the water, but the water is not the best place to build a structure, right? You need land, mobility. Um, you got to have something that you can ground, you know, ground on. What's interesting about the 4 energies, I've been giving it some thought on how they constructing that space station. Um, how the 4 energy is needed because space really don't have the groundation, you know. And so in order to create the space station, you have to give it some type of 4 energy. So it has to be grounded somehow, some way. And I have to look into that because if it's rotating, then then you don't need the stability of the 4. The the station itself is the 4 because because the structure, it's a thing. It has the 4 walls, right? And if it's moving, then the 4 energy, like it's moving, it's not staying stationary. But I have to look into that. But I moved on. Let's move on. Okay, so the number 4 will help keep the number 6 emotions in balance and in check because the 6 energy moves from the emotions, and sometimes the 6 have to come more from a rational approach than from an emotional approach, so that the 4 energy will help the 6 sometimes, get become think things through a lot more from a rational perspective than emotional feeling type of perspective. Now, combining the sub-H elements, which is the 6 and the 4, reveals the core essence, which is the number 1, because the 6 and the 4 makes a 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. Beautiful. The central core essence of this birthday pattern of 641 is the new beginnings, because 1 energy is a new beginning, and that is fantastic, right? It's like free from the cocoon, and you're the butterfly, and you're off and you're running, right? That's a beautiful thing, right? A time for celebration because you made it through the last 9 seasons and the last 9 lessons, and you rewarded with the opportunity to do it all again, but with more wisdom, clarity, and purpose. For an example, the first 9 years of your life is your first 9-year cycle, and you're pretty much just going through the basics, right? I mean, you really don't have much say so or anything, right? Because you're a kid. So first 3 years, 4 years, you're like, your parents is kind of guiding you, telling you what you're doing, and you're not really cognitive of who you are and what you are, and you're not really coming to your own. But when that 9th year cycle ends and you turn 10 and you start that second cycle from 10 to 19, whoa, you're talking about a different vibration, a higher vibration. Right now you got more cognitive understanding, right? You have more sense of self-identity. You understand? You can become more opinionated. Not only that, you bucked up a little bit. You know, now you got some physical strength to yourself. You got some bass in your voice, right? And and now you're also socializing more. Your family has extended now outside to the school, and you're getting influence from this group of people and this group of people and that group of people, and all those people are molding you. So you've started a new cycle, but it's at a higher intensity, at a higher vibration. Okay, so this one energy is starting anew, which is celebratory, which is wonderful, because going through those 9 previous lessons, it's not easy going through each lesson and coming out on top, right? And then to make it, to start it all over again, but with a greater sense of awareness, a greater sense of wisdom, because preferably you have learned by having those experiences, you have learned. So when you come across it again, you have a little bit more wisdom, a little bit more foresight, and hopefully you have a lot more physical strength to be able to overcome it a lot with more rapidity, with more speed. Okay, so it's a celebration time. So each time you complete a 9-year cycle, another cycle begins at a higher vibration, and the lessons are more intense. So that's a 641 birthday pattern. I may start a little series talking about the different birthday patterns. Just real quickly, why is the birthday pattern important? Well, the birthday pattern gives you like an overall view of what you can expect in any birthday age cycle. It gives you an overview. So if you see the 6, you understanding that okay, the 6 is all about love, relationship, children, grandchildren, grandparents. Got do I have to put my mother in a hospice, or do I have to put my you know do my parents come and stay with me? 6 type of energy, right? Um, and if a person is age 62, then you deal with the 2 energy, which is all about partnership and relationship and networking. So it kind of gives you an overview of what to expect in any given and birthday year. So I may pull a few out and do like a little analysis, and that's one of the ways you can utilize numerology to to help guide you on a daily basis and on a yearly basis. All right, until the next video, peace.